Welcome to the Kilachari Torah Halacha review for Tuesday, March 16th. We're speaking today about Sfirat HaOmer. On the second night of Pesach, we begin counting the Omer. You should stand during the counting. The mitzvah requires that the Omer be counted as soon as possible after nightfall, after three medium-sized stars appear in the heavens. If you didn't count at the beginning of the evening, you can count all night. In the synagogue, on the eve of Shabbos and Yom Tov, we count after the Kiddush is said in order to give precedence to the proclamation of the holiness of the day. However, our custom is not to make Kiddush in the shul. At the conclusion of Shabbos and Yom Tov, we count before Havdalah is said in order to delay the end of the day. If the last day of Yom Tov is on Shabbos night, when Kiddush and Havdalah are said over one cup of wine, we also count before in order to delay Havdalah a little bit more to keep the spirit of Shabbat with us. Now, counting the Omer is a recollection of a mitzvah from temple times. To count the days, as the Torah tells us, we should count 7 complete days, 49 days. That works out to be in my math. And on the 50th day is Chag HaAtzeres, the holiday of stopping counting, stopping working. Different drushes on that, but we call it Shavuot. This is also the derivation of the holiday, as people render it into English, Pentecost. Not a very common terminology we use. We say Shavuot, festival of weeks. But that's supposed to be, we count the 7 full weeks after leaving Egypt and prepare ourselves for standing at Mount Sinai. And we'll go through, Amir Hashem will go through a day-to-day sort of a spiritual preparation work for that. But the Omer itself refers to a barley offering that was brought from the very first grains that ripen in the spring in Israel, which is barley. Those are supposed to be brought on the morrow of the Yom Tov. In other words, on the first day of Chol HaMoed, which for us in the diaspora is the second day of Yom Tov. If you forgot to count during the night, says the Kitzur Shulchan Aruch, you can count during the daytime. However, you do it without a bracha. There is a bracha, Asher Kichanu Mitzvosav, V'tzivanu Sfiras HaOmer. You've sanctified us with your commandments and commanded us concerning the counting of the Omer. We do that if we're counting at night. If you count during the day, you're still counting the day. However, you omit the bracha on subsequent nights, since you did count. Let's say today's the 17th day. And you forgot to count last night, but you did count today as the 17th day, you may continue this evening with 18, the next counting, and make a bracha. If you neglected to count an entire day, you should count on all of the subsequent nights, all the way up to 49. However, you omit the bracha. If you're not sure if you counted that night, even though you didn't count the following day, you can still assume that you did and count the remaining days with a bracha. Now here we get into a funny little custom where you don't want to count because you don't want to say it. If you want to say it, you want to be in the right frame of mind. You want to make the bracha if possible. So if someone asks you from twilight onwards, what is tonight's count? You should tell them yesterday was, whatever it was yesterday. You assume that most Jews are able to do the math of adding 1 onto, if it's 20, if last night was 22, today should be, give yourself a minute, that's right, 23. So that's the interesting little custom for how to inform someone who's asking you, even though you haven't said the counting. If of course you've said tonight is 23, you can go ahead and tell everybody who's fit to listen that today is the 23rd day of the Omer. Did you count? Did you count? Did you count? You could be that fun person at the party. Okay, we'll continue with a little bit laws of the bracha and the kavanot, and we'll actually go through it in the siddur tomorrow. So please join us then. Have a good day.